Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, this is Daisy, and we are hauling paws. We are on the first run of 2022, headed to Massachusetts. This load is $2.04 a mile, so that's pretty good. It is a 30-something foot Springdale, that's what it is. Got some new suspension parts on, it's riding a whole lot nicer. Trying to beat the storm in Goshen. There's a winter advisory coming in. They're supposed to get 4 or 5 inches of snow there. I'm trying to get out of that storm here and get into Ohio and get across here. But I've never been to the New England area with RV transport. So Massachusetts is going to be the first thing for me. I've heard that there are some problems with parking and some weird tolls depending on where you're going for certain bridges and things like that. There was no way I was taking any trailer to Oregon or Washington. I didn't want to go to Wyoming or Montana. They're just getting pounded with snow, and it seems that my company is kind of holding back all of the southwest loads. Where I like to go New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, southern Utah, that kind of stuff. I like northern Utah also. I like that run a lot, but not in this kind of weather. They're just getting pounded. Everybody's getting stopped in Wyoming. They're spending days sitting there. The transport bandits right now are stuck in, I think it was Nova Scotia, with weather, waiting to get on a ferry to go to Newfoundland. I'm just trying to avoid the weather. So I'm going to New England for the first time. I'll have to deal with people, but at least I'm avoiding the weather, or at least the bad weather. They just had a big storm come through, but it was all rain, so that's not a big deal. The lots were nothing but ice. I was coming out of the Goshen North lot, and it's got a ramp that comes down out of it to the road, to the main road, and it's really steep, but it was covered in ice. And I started to get stopped on it. It slid a little bit, and I looked at it, and I could just see it was a skating rink all the way down. And I didn't want to go sliding down that hill into traffic. Normally, you kind of pull down on that hill before you get out on the road, but wait for traffic to clear, and then took a running start down the ice just so I could roll out and not have to stop on that hill, because it was pretty bad. Company needs to throw some salt on that hill. As you can see, got a little bit of weather, not too bad, little flurries. The roads are pretty decent. So hopefully we don't have any bad snow in the Pennsylvania mountains going through there. Well, I figured I would toss in an update here about where we're at. We're in the mountains of Pennsylvania, and there's no snow here. Roads have been fantastic. Once I got about an hour outside of Goshen into Ohio, the roads were great. Fueled up in Perrysburg or Perrysville or somewhere like that. It's the cheapest the fuel's going to be for the entire trip. All the way through here, there's a winter storm coming. I'm trying to outrun that, so I want to get as far as I possibly can. The roads, like I said, have been fantastic coming out this way, so no problems. I was a little worried about getting some snow in the mountains here, but that's not supposed to come in until later tonight. Hopefully I'll be past Pennsylvania when snow comes in. But Massachusetts is forecasting 8 inches of snow for tomorrow. So I want to get as far as I possibly can today so I can hopefully get delivered and picked up before the big snow comes.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Well, went to bed and could see grass right out that window. Woke up this morning, and the first thing I saw was my rear view mirror. Well, it's like my dash cam, but it's got a front camera and a rear camera. So I looked at the camera, which can see what's in the bed of my truck, and it looked like this. That thing on the right is my cooler. And this is what I got when I woke up. I'm in Connecticut, in Hartford, and Connecticut hates truck drivers. The rest areas all say no idling trucks and no running generators. Awesome. Yeah, screw them. But I didn't go to the rest area there, and I found a Walmart. The first Walmart I stopped at said no truck parking, no RV parking, no nothing. So I went to the next Walmart, which was like 10 miles down the road, and they allow parking here. There wasn't any signs that said no parking, but that's what I woke up to. So this is a fun trip. I don't think I'm gonna make the second delivery. I might make delivery on this one today and pick up the other one, but I don't think I'm gonna get it delivered today. Hopefully tomorrow. This weather wasn't supposed to come in until 1 o'clock today. It's 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and it came in a little early. So now I'm sitting here with, I don't even know how much snow that is. It's got to be 8 or 10 inches. I'm going to try to get out of this spot and go over to where he's plowing, him over there, and see if I can get into some plowed area. And then I'm going over to Walmart. No, that's Marshall's. Walmart's way down there. I'm gonna go over to Walmart and stock up on stuff because I haven't stopped yet. This is the first run out, and I haven't stopped to stock up with all my snacks and things like that. And of course, there's no Starbucks that's close. My coffee cup's empty, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. So the front end loader over there just hit a car. So I think it's gonna delay cleaning up the parking lot a little bit. So I was looking for fuel stops someplace close, because like the closest Flying J is 42 miles away. So I was looking for gas stations to see what was around here, maybe someplace to get some coffee, scrolling around on Google Maps, and this. Oh my gosh, I laughed too hard at that. That was stupid. Well, I finally got me some coffee, so I'm not gonna die. And it's, I don't know, almost 40 degrees now, and the roads have melted enough to travel on. Snow still piled up off the roads, but on the highway it's just wet now. So motoring along, about, I don't know, 4 miles from the Massachusetts border, and about an hour and a half from the first delivery. So let's talk about Connecticut and how they hate truckers. The rest areas say no idling vehicles over 5 tons and no generator usage. So you can't stay warm in the truck unless you're one of those people that just grab a sleeping bag and call it good, which I'm not. All of the Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, Home Depots, the typical places that let RVs park, had signs up that said no RV parking overnight. Truck stop wanted 75 bucks. 75 bucks to park in the gated area, and $50 to park where they said wherever you can find room, which there wasn't much room anywhere. I sort of found a spot, but it was a weird setup where the trucks had to come out, and I was worried somebody was going to hit the back of the camper, so I ended up moving. So So I went a few more miles down the road, found a different Walmart, and that Walmart didn't have any signs up. It was just, I don't know, a little bit east of Hartford. So I parked in there.
There is currently light traffic on
and
the route.
the first wall is back up to the first Walmart. Pulled into the first Walmart, there's signs that say no parking and blah blah blah, and it says that, you know, the police are notified. So as soon as I pulled in, 2 cops rolled in, and they said, you can't park here. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I got to get turned around. I saw the signs. I said, where is a good place around here to park for the night? You know, we got weather coming in and got to get off the road. Commercial driver, blah, blah, blah. He says, New York. New York. Go back to New York and park there. So I went a little bit further down the road, found another Walmart, pulled in there, and it was fine. I didn't see any signs. The parking lot itself, told my wife, it looked like a scene out of The Walking Dead. There were plastic bags everywhere. There were shopping carts everywhere. And this was late at night. But it looked like it was an abandoned parking lot. But it's not. So I went down and I actually found a nice out-of-the-way space against the grass down in front of the Marshalls, which is in the same complex. It was a long, straight area where I could pull in right up against the grass side, and that was a good place. No big lights shining through the windows and things like that. Even though I got blinds and stuff, there wasn't any big lights. And when I went to bed, I could see grass. And then I woke up to Armageddon. So it was fun. But now we're back on the road. I'm going to get out of this state that hates truck drivers. Oh, hey. Beep, beep. There it is. I am now officially in Massachusetts. Oh, and there's a way station coming up. Of course there is. Except for going to New England was less than fun. I still want to take a load to Maine, and I'll probably end up doing a Connecticut run, even though I don't like Connecticut too much, but they pay pretty well going out there, so I'll probably still go that way anyway, but not the most fun area to go. So I'm reloaded with a 36-foot bumper pull. I'm headed to Lowell, Arkansas. Probably won't video a whole lot about that trip because I don't think there's going to be anything super special about it.
1 pair of pants later.
Well, just when I was saying that it was probably going to be uneventful, here I sit in a Walmart parking lot, getting ready to take the front right tire off and figure out what's going on with the brake. Because this. Well, that's not good. It's either going to be a stuck caliper or something wrong with the pads. They're stuck somehow, something's sticking, or the slides are sticking, something. So I got a caliper, I got new brake pads, I got some anti-seize and grease in my toolbox, so I'm all set for everything. One of the benefits of having one of these older trucks is that they have all the parts on the shelves that you need. So I put my grubby hoodie on, and now I'm gonna get at it. Okay, so here we go.
it's seized up. I have to take it apart and see. Because both pads are evenly worn. So it's not just one that was sticking. If it was just the outside, then it would have been the slides that are stuck, but they're both wearing the same, so I think the caliper itself is stuck, so it's going to need a new caliper. That's kind of how you can tell if it's the caliper or if it's the slides. If it's the slides, it will just be one pad that'll be wore down or really screwed up. And if it's the calipers stuck and the slides are working fine, then both pads will be burned up. So when I take it apart and I look at the pads, I'll be able to tell, is it burned up or is it not burned up? Well, both the slides move and the pads themselves popped out of their slidey things pretty easily. They're glazed right up, burned right up. So what happened was the caliper seized. So, I mean, as far as all the stuff, it's worst case, but it's still not super horrible. Because with my truck, you get all the parts right on the shelf. So, there's a caliper for it. New caliper and new slides. So, we'll get to putting it in. So the new caliper came with new pins. Don't forget to lube it up before you stick it in. Ooh, wrong hole. There we go. One down here. Now, this light sucks. It's washing everything out, but this isn't the greatest way to do it. If you don't want to, in normal operation, put pads, new pads, onto a crappy rotor. You want to turn the rotor or replace the rotor. The rotors for this truck, super expensive, and I still have meat here to turn. But right now, there's nobody to turn it, so I'm gonna put them on. It'll get me home, and then I'll take them off, resurface the pads, and resurface the rotor, and then I'll be all good to go. So pretty much, I got the caliper on. I just got to get it bolted up over to here. Got to get it bolted up. The new caliper's here, all ready to go. So I'm gonna slam it on here, bolt it on, then I got to bleed the brakes, and then I am gonna go ahead and take the other side off and put those new brake pads, because the pads come in a set for both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those pads off and then put the new ones on that side so the pads are the same. And then when I get home, I'll resurface both sets of brake pads and both rotors, and then I should be good to go. So I picked up this unit in Columbia, Missouri, a reload, and I was taking it to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've now dropped, I'm heading back through, I think I'm back into Tennessee. To get to Chattanooga that way, you got to go into Georgia and then back out of Georgia for a few minutes. But come through the mountains here, it's really beautiful. But about an hour from delivery, this happened. So yeah, that was great. Look in the mirror, I saw the drawer sticking out the side. So then I had to look at a different angle at my mirror because that door was above the mirror. You couldn't see it in the mirror because it was really high. I'm driving on the highway, the door popped open, that drawer came out. So I got off the side of the highway, closed it up. Of course, I don't have keys to this unit. They told me they had mailed them with the title and all that to the other dealer. So I didn't have any keys to lock any of the doors or anything like that. So the damn thing pops open. So I had to get creative with some tape, get it all taped up, and then head on down the road. Then I got to the dealer. I took all my pictures, or I took the tape off first, then I took all the pictures. And then I went into the dealer for them to come out and do their inspection. They signed the paperwork and said, have a nice day. They didn't even come out to look at the camera. They didn't even look out the window to see if I actually had a camera. They just sign, see ya. Okay. So, and I dropped it and was out of there. So now I'm rolling back to Goshen. I'm going to do a little bit of sightseeing as I go. There's nothing on the board that's screaming at me, so I'm not going to be dispatched. So I'm just going to kind of do what I want to do. Rolling along here, might go visit some caves or something, I don't know. But a little bit of excitement this morning. I could have done without that. So this will probably actually, for real, be the end of the video. Hopefully. Because every time I say that it's the end of the video, then something else comes up. So, as always, have safe travels and I'll see you on the road.